Hello there, boys. We got us another knife to take a look at. And it came with some other knives, and these were severely reduced in price because I believe they're being discontinued. This one, the Hungarian. This is the real deal. No clone here, right? It's all American all the time. And you get paperwork with it. And here's the paperwork. And here's about the ethnic series, paying homage to different cultures and different places around the world that have different knife designs, right? And then Gabor Zakonyi. I don't know how to pronounce the last. I don't think the S sounds. I think it's more like Zakonyi, but I don't know for sure. In any case, he wasn't the knife maker. He's more of a designer. And he approached the head of Spyderco saying, hey, maybe we ought to do this, Sal, Sal Glesser. And in his trade show in Germany and said, hey, what about this? And got together with a knife guy, a knife maker, to make a prototype, send it to him, and Sal goes, yeah, I think this is interesting. I think we ought to do this. So here's kind of the end result of that whole deal. We're not going to get this open, are we? So, and here's the deal. I am opening this for the first time. And it's not going to be successful, is it? It's not real easy. Here we go. So when I saw that this thing was wrapped around here like this, I go, I'm going to just open this with my audience. That way we can all kind of understand how this comes packaged. And obviously, they do this to protect this bolster here, right? It's pretty. It's pretty. And now it's going to be a mess. But it's very shiny. Yeah. Interesting knife design. Of course, this is in their ethnic series, as we just said. Got a shiny stainless pocket clip. It's not exactly a one for deep carry. Blade looks centered, right? Very shiny G10. Opens very easily with the thumb hole. It's a liner lock. And there's the lockup on it, right? Yeah, really easy to operate. No problem. This is first deal right out of the box, right? So, one-handed. Oh, it's pretty. It's a pretty knife. I was going to show you this because, they have been knocked down in price. Originally $329.95 down to $200, which is about probably the area where a lot of people bought these. Now down to $160. So, yeah, on sale, right? And this is the information, if you want to pause and read or whatever, on how the ethnic series had started and continued, and then how this kind of came to be, right? Then you have in millimeters, because this is important. I need to have a metric tape or something for you guys that like the metrics, but 92 millimeter blade length, which is not quite 3 3/4 inch. Cutting edge 3.28, overall 8.46 inches. Close length 4.83, so not quite 5 inches. Blade thickness 118. So that's 3 millimeters. That's under 1/4 inch in thickness. And it's CTS-XHP blade steel, which is really nice. Okay, 4.4 ounces. This seems almost like a micarta because it's really shiny and it's really hard. And you know what? I don't know what it is. that always catch you. You always got to get yourself caught somewhere, right? But they're not saying here, are they? Wow. Yeah, CTS-XHP. G10? It's polished G10. Wow. Okay. You remember the micarta that they did? I mean, I remember the Almar knives, the sear knives where they did micarta and a kind of a polished glossy micarta like that. But no, this is polished G10. Interesting, huh? All right. Let's take a look. Well, yes, it is longer than 3.5, but not quite 3 3/4 inch length blade. And it's pretty much close to 8.5 overall. Really close. All right. How about blade handle? The handle thickness. Handle thickness. 14.7. So 5.81, not quite 6/10 of an inch. So it's kind of a robust handle. It's really thin, so it depends on the size of your hand. I've got a lot of extra hand left over, you know. So I don't know. Maybe smaller hands, or maybe, you know, you can hold it like this. Put your thumb down, and then you don't have to wrap your hand around. It's more like this. But, I mean, the liner lock is easy to disengage. Although, you know, one of our viewers was saying the Hungarian was very much like the tie stick. No, oh God, what other knife was it that I was doing this with? And it was a liner lock as well. And where, oh, the Draper knife, the Mike Draper knife. See, here it's flush. So it's a little tough for some people, and some people don't like this. I mean, for styling purposes, I kind of understand this, but when you try and get a hold of that liner, I mean, they did jimp it and gave it texture, right? But still, you know, you got to get the fat of your finger down in there because it's flush with the scales to open and close. I mean, to close it, basically, to push that liner aside. See? So, it's just maybe, no, it's flush. Maybe it would have been nice to have it just a little bit above. Of course, they say, and they have said in their literature, they don't want people accidentally pushing that and disengaging the lock. So that's why they make it flush. Okay. Now you got all these standoffs, right? 1, 2, 3. Right? And then you got the lanyard hole, which is tubed. Obviously, and let's check for sure. Yeah, that's all steel. It's all magnetic type steel, right? Even the bolsters, right? But it's glossy, it's showy, it's easy to open. It's getting better and better. I mean, hey, we all opened this together, right? First time. So it's getting better and better. I don't know how I feel about this knife. I mean, the bolsters are nice and heavy. Look up there. What do we got? Bronze? Bronze washers? Looks like to me. Just saying. Okay, let's check out this. CTS-XHP. Good steel, right? Carpenter. In Taiwan. Of course, a Hungarian knife should be made in Taiwan. And probably the collaborator's mark or something to do with Hungary. And I didn't read anything about that in particular. All right. I mean, you've got a pivot that is accessible to Torx. And these other screws are as well accessible to Torx. So you can take it apart if you want to. right? Looks like the scale, see where the scale is? See where the little screws are on the scale? But look at the standoffs. Obviously, you have screw heads underneath these scales that are hidden, right? So disassembly would probably involve removing the scale, as well as taking the pivot out, and then taking out these screws underneath if you had to or needed to or wanted to. It comes perfectly tuned as far as I'm concerned. It opens and closes really well. The blade centering is wonderful. And if this is your kind of knife, then this is probably the time to buy it as it's going out, as it's being discontinued, and when the price is the best for value, right? Probably one disappointment might be that you have a pocket clip, but it's for right hand tip up carry. There's no left hand option here. It's showy, it's glossy, and it's got a good, fairly long blade that should be relatively sharp, right? Yeah. Yeah. Little strands here, little strands, right? Cutting it up. It's good. Yes, it is. So you got the carpenter steel, which is really nice. I think that's one of the big pluses of this knife. And I think the fact that it's a very thin handle is a plus for a lot of people that maybe want something a little bit more discreet. It's not quite a 3 3/4 inch blade. That's good. And 3 millimeter or less, right at 2.9. So 2.945. They're saying 3 millimeters, so we can go with that. 0.115 inches. Yeah. Now, you may ask yourself, how much does this dog weigh? Well, we're going to find out right now. 4.3 ounces. All right. That ain't too shabby. That's very carryable, and it's 121 grams. You know what? Yeah. I mean, I kind of like it. I've seen this knife. I mean, it's been out for, I believe, since 14, and the paperwork will say. So if I'm telling you a faux pas, you can just pause and read that and see. A lot of these discontinued knives, it looks like they've been out for a couple of years. That Spyderco takes some out, brings some in, some new ones in. And there's some new ones coming in that are pretty cool. So, yeah, I like it. It's a satin blade, and I like the satin. Stonewash is fun, but I don't think it would go with this. This is polished and shiny, so you want a satin. Almost a mirror would have been maybe preferable, a mirror polish on this blade, but then it becomes expensive, more expensive. And I don't know if you want to bring the MSRP much over 3 1/4, right? So I think you leave well enough alone. But it's very sharp, good quality materials, obviously good fit and finish, very glossy, very nice. And this is all boils down to style, doesn't it? I think it all boils down to style. So if this is the style of knife that you like, it feels good in the hand. I mean, as far as when you grab it, I mean, and the balance seems to be pretty good. I mean, right about there. But it's easy to kind of grab and navigate, and I think it would be good for, especially when you got a little bit of a forward choil here, for finer work. You know, a thinner blade, but a flat grind, so a really usable grind. I think this would be a good knife for that. I think it'd be easily controllable, and it's lightweight, very slender in the pocket. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good ideas going on here. Not so bulky, but extremely usable and utilitarian and great blade steel. So there you go, folks. I mean, what do you think? You're never shy. You know you aren't. So you might as well just let it all hang out. I'm sure there's some ideas about the Hungarian, whether you really like it or you don't. Yes, it's either a love it or hate it thing, probably. Like many of the more collaborative Spyderco designs, it is a real thing of either love or hate. In most cases, I love them, tell you the truth. This one is very unique, fun, different. I haven't handled it. I just brought it out of the box with you guys. So here I am, you know. And this will not stay in my collection, but because I keep rolling my money forward to review other knives and kind of in my little journey of exploring the knife world, which is fun. You guys take care. Thanks for your time. We love them knives.